Hey, this week I'm going to tell you a few things that you didn't know CueCam can do because I haven't told anyone. And then we're going to have a chat about CueCam Cloud, which is my next big thing that I've started working on. And I want you to get ready, and I also want to hear your ideas if you want to get involved and sort of suggest how you'd like it to work. Hey, this is Square's TV App Lab number 67, where we talk about Video Pencil, Shoot and CueCam Presenter. This is a lab on After Hours, on Zoom, and it's also going out live on YouTube. I'm Michael Forrest, I make apps, and I also make things. These are some things, and here is a cute baby pic. He's wearing little baby sunglasses. Right. So this week, I'm going to I know I talked a lot about Video Pencil last week, so I just wanted to give you an update on that because it's still just on test flight, and I have been lagging a bit because I've been looking at a lot of other stuff, but I have spent a bit of time on the Spotlight because I didn't like how it worked before, and I had some ideas, and I just sort of spent a bit of time having a look at making that work a bit better. So if my iPad will share... Let's see if we can get here we go. So we've got the screen. So I'm just going to show you how this works now. So basically now it's down here. So it's like sort of next to the clear everything button. Rather than being a tool, it's like just a sort of background, a grey out thing. So now you tap that once. Right, so basically, look, I'm drawing with this pen. I tap it once, you see it goes pink. Now I can say where I want to highlight and then straight away start drawing. Whoops. Trying not to trigger live titles. Yeah, so we can just tap it, select an area and start drawing straight away. So it's just sort of, you don't have to kind of like do those multiple steps. And another thing you can do, if you do tap it, start drawing, something else you can do, tap on there and you can change the opacity of that, just with that slider there. And clear it there, or if you just want to darken the whole background, just go darken all and you can set how dark you want that to be. So basically we can start drawing, doing that thing, and then we can just like it will clear it back. Tap there. If you want it to clear the whole background, just tap it again, do that. So we've got either you can tap it once, highlight a bit, start drawing straight away, or tap it and then darken everything, start drawing straight away. So that's how that is all working now. There's a couple of little bugs here and there, but it's coming together okay. Hey, look at this. I finally made this draggable on my version, because sometimes it's sort of covering things up down here, but this is the remote control for CueCam, so you can also see, look, it's got my speaker notes in there. So I'm going to press next, and let's talk tips. So what I wanted to do this week was just blitz through a few tips. I've been working on this documentation, as I said in the email. I finally kind of went through, made a big list of I'll just show you. So the CueCam Presenter Guide, if I go to my desktop, this is like titles, and so like how to quickly share your desktop, how to do this, that and the other. These are all the axes are all the empty ones I haven't done yet. So but I finally made that list this week. I was like, oh god, and this is why I've been putting it off, because there's so many features and different things you can do that I just have not yet documented. And I just heard a message. Hey John, hi from Monterey, says John. But yeah, let's talk tips. So tip one, so this should jump to this is going to open another CueCam document and jump to it hopefully, so let's see what happens. Hey, so first tip is framing yourself nicely. So I spent some time on this, so office hours users will recognize the Fenwick frame. So what I'm saying is, if you are on a call, then it's usually best to frame yourself. So this is, it's like this. If I just promote this to the back, this isn't quite going to work, but like, you sort of want to be like this. So like, I have to kind of go up there to show that. But so you kind of want to be around there. But if you're using a lot of slides, then it's worth being off to the side a bit, sort of like a newsreader. So you've got kind of you on one side, you just leave space here for all of your content, and that's how I try. And that's what I'm doing right now, right? I'm off to the side, but I'm on this, I'm on a chair that lets me kind of swivel a little bit out the way, or if I'm standing up, I can do it. I've been standing up recently, so that's the sort of basic layouts. But in CueCam, you can actually, as I was writing this document, I went, well, why don't I make it in CueCam so that you can like get these overlays? So I had to sort of make the graphics for the documentation. I was like, well, why don't I just chuck these into CueCam? So let's just see what that feels like. Let me see what we get if I go into demo mode in CueCam. So here's my document. So if I go demo mode, let's see what we can see. How does that work? Oh, we need to be on. Let's try that again. It's because I sort of got ahead of myself. Oh, it's doing the iPad as well. Which window is it doing that? Oh, it's doing the one that I'm presenting. Okay. Let me just try that one more time. I'm just not quite sure which window it's showing. Oh, it's showing the main document. Okay, that's fine. So we'll make that a bit bigger. So what you can do in CueCam now, I've actually got a keyboard shortcut. So Command G, that just puts a grid up there. So it's quite hard to see because I'm sort of showing the iPad preview as well down here. But yeah, you see there, we've got that there, and also you can go into USB video setting. You can go into your camera settings and just like choose from some different layouts. So it's not super easy to see, but I wonder if I made this taller, would it become a bit easier? Yeah, I think this is going to let me make this bigger. Demoing the thing that you're using to demo. So we can actually choose from some different ones. So we've got thirds, just gives you sort of a standard rule of thirds. So you just sort of try and keep yourself in one of those sort of thirds points. We've got the webcam. This is like the Fenwick frame. We've got the newsreader style. So try and get yourself on the left, or we've got newsreader on the other side. So you can try and be on this side. And then we've got square, so if you want to be sort of stay in the square. So that won't come through to your camera feed, as you can see from sort of me up on the top right. Yeah, so that's in there. And the other way you can, so that's like if you're using your big camera and you wanna do it all sort of yourself by moving around. If you use shoot as your webcam, then you can turn on face follow, which will keep your face centered. So you can access shoot from the menu. So there's this menu up here, which when there's a camera selected, and then you've got down here face follow. And so if you turn that on, it's going to keep you in the middle. And you can set how quickly it tracks you and sort of how much it will crop out. And then what's really good about face follow though is if you are presenting slides, it actually adapts to the current slide layout. So if you've got a slide where your face is in the middle, well, if you've got a slide with some text in the middle, it's going to center your face. But if you have a slide with some stuff on the left, then it's actually going to put you over to the other side, and that's just going to happen automatically if you're using shoot as your webcam. So it's just like one of the advantages of all this stuff being connected is that CueCam can tell shoot, oh no, we've got to keep you over there, and also all that sort of face recognition stuff is being done on the phone and not on the Mac, and so it's sort of like offloading some of the power onto there. So yeah, that's just some advice on framing when we're doing this stuff. If anyone's got any thoughts of other situations you might want, but I really think like you kind of, as long as you're like this is good when you're likely to get put into a square thumbnail as well. I think the newsreader style is probably the most effective for CueCam presentations. So what's next? Next we're going to talk about how does audio work in CueCam. This one did not automatically load, but I can load it. So let's start it. So CueCam mixes. So how does audio work in CueCam? CueCam mixes audio from your main microphone, videos, screen shares, and music. You can select CueCam audio as your mic input in Zoom, Teams, or in other places. You can choose which audio is sent to your headphones, and usually you want everything except your main microphone to be in your headphones. The reason not to include your microphone is that it will be distractingly delayed if you can hear it. By the way, I think, I do have big headphones. I used to always do stuff with big headphones, but I do recommend headphones. But I'm actually like using these like £20 really small Bluetooth earpiece just to kind of hear what I'm doing, which is really useful when you're doing stuff like this, because it's really annoying when you're sort of waiting 20 minutes for something to start and you don't want to kind of like disconnect and you want to hear if people are talking on Zoom or whatever, but you don't want to be sort of stuck at your desk the whole time, because I like to pace around before a presentation. So I just find a Bluetooth wireless thing is good, and I just think the less visible the better. So like even if you had like an AirPod, I find that a little bit big, and I've got these Sennheiser ones that kind of stick out quite a lot. But I think this one's quite good because you hardly notice it, and it was super cheap, and I wouldn't wear it if I was like actually trying to hear accurate audio, but it's good. I only really need to know that the music's playing at roughly the right volume and what people are saying to me on the Zoom stream. So CueCam provides, I don't think this brought down oh no, it did bring some down. So audio meters. So CueCam provides LUFS metering, which is the most accurate way to measure how loud something sounds. So most other software is going to give you just like RMS or sort of like peak, just sort of standard limit metering, but it just doesn't really give you a good idea of how, because there's so many perceptual things with sound, the different frequency ranges sort of perceived differently, and so LUFS metering is something that I went to great effort to get LUFS metering into CueCam, just so that a tiny little meter can be really accurate. Hi, Justin. So whenever you see indicators in CueCam, you'll see that around -23 LUFS is going to be nice and green, nice and reassuring, and that's just the perfect volume for your voice on most of these things. So how do you choose what goes to your virtual mic? Well, here we are hearing audio. So my main mic is selected, the Rode NT USB. That's what you're hearing me through now. It's handy because it's USB and it's got a headphone output, so you can monitor directly. But you see so this is not muted, but this video that's playing is muted. So it's just grayed out. You can see that it's muted. You can toggle whether an audio source is muted by just clicking on the big pad there, basically. Or you can actually make deep links and stuff to toggle them as well if you want to do that. How do you choose what you hear in your headphones? Here we can see the main. Is that not? Oh, wait a sec. Let's go back one. I think I know what's happening here. Let's just. Oh no, we don't have the. How to choose what goes to your virtual mic. Yeah, so you can choose what goes to your headphones by clicking on the pink bar, and then you've got this headphone monitoring on. Or you can also right-click. Well, you can't yet on the live version. I put a lot of right-click menus in this week because people are right-clicking, and it's so easy to chuck stuff in there. So you can actually right-click and mute the headphones. But basically, I've got these panels set up so you tap it once to sort of just kind of cut the audio, and then the headphone monitoring is done through the pop-up or through a right-click. I could make it. So I did previously have like buttons all along there, but I just want it to. I think really the defaults are 90% of the time right. Like your main mic should be muted and then everything else should come through to your headphones. So I don't think it's a thing that you need to be constantly toggling. So that's why it's kind of got that 2 clicks, and then I just kind of make those pads something you click once. Yeah, here it is. The right click menu, you can just right click on there. You can see we've got the ability to mute it with the right click menu, disable metering, disconnect it, to sort of switch it to something else or just disconnect it. And then we've also got the ability to deep link to toggle those things as well. So if you wanted to set that up, you can sort of make a local URL on your computer and you can toggle the links and stuff like that. Changing the headphone output. So there's an arrow under the headphone icon, and you use that picker under the volume control. Do I have a picture? So I'm going to, let's see. Yeah, so there's it's an arrow here that you can click, and then you can sort of select your output. And I feel like I could probably make that one step less, but you can also right click and do the same thing. And then capturing audio, just something to know about screen share. So basically, yeah, everything else is just handled then automatically for you. So it will bring in, this sparkles, you don't have to do anything for the audio of that to come through, as long as you've got original sound for musicians on. If you play a video, that's just going to be mixed in, and you've got control over the volume of that on the card or on the video player. And so I sort of keep all those things, I keep it to a minimum. I'm not giving you like a big complicated looking audio mixer. I'm just making a lot of those decisions for you and giving you control where you need it. And then if you want to capture audio from screen shares, you have to share an app or a window to hear its audio. If you just share your whole desktop, CueCam doesn't it doesn't want to send all of the audio from your computer. It wants you to kind of choose which app to hear, because otherwise we end up getting feedback and weird stuff can happen. Although I could filter out the CueCam audio and probably bypass that, but I don't know, I would rather, it's just as easy to share an app, and then you kind of know what you've got. And actually, something I do want to add at some point is the ability to share, because it's behind the scenes, it's quite easy to share more than one app. I'd quite like to be able to say, okay, I want to share these 3 apps and only these 3 apps. We can actually do that. I just need to put a bit of UI together for it. And then because sometimes I'm switching between, Apple, I'm demonstrating something in Final Cut Pro and Apple Motion, and I want to be able to switch between those 2 apps and share the audio from them. But I don't want to, if I share my whole desktop, then you won't get any audio, so I have to keep switching between the things. But yeah, that's how that stuff works. So coming back to, my deep links only worked on the first one. How to access the live camera is the next one we're going to talk about. So this is a really short one. To access the live camera, we have got a button here to access the live camera. I feel like I'm probably gonna make this screen look a bit better though. I think this is sort of beat sheet legacy. I think this could be also, this probably should be first. So if you're seeing this in the future and it doesn't look like this, then it's because I sort of gave it some love. I gave it a lick of paint. Click on the live camera, and then here you are. You've got your camera here, you've got your dashboard here, audio stuff happening here, you've got shoot, video, pencil, the record button all up here. So if you don't have a script, you can just sort of jump into that. It's that easy. So let's talk about the next thing. I told you I was going to go through these quickly. Let's see what people are saying. So what were we talking about? I didn't put a title on this one. Should we put a title on this just so that we know? What's this? Well, where's the script that we're on? Sorry, I've got so many scripts. How to use the live camera is not it. Framing yourself nicely is not it. There it is. How to quickly share a picture from your computer is what we're on. So let's just put a card in that says how to quickly share a picture from your computer. Right. What if we went? I made the center one properly big this week. Something I also want to try is what if we just really ramp up the font size? And then what happens when we keep typing? It is fun and a crazy good time, and you can do it so easily. I love it. Okay, we can put a lot of text on. The thing with CueCam is I'm using just a sort of, I'm not giving you a rectangle to type into. I'm using a proper layout engine, so we can get pretty crazy with these titles. Anyway, all right. How to share a picture? Oh no, it's enormous. Let's just pull that back down again. So option 1, put that down the bottom. So you can open the dashboard by the status menu or by showing the camera, and then you can click on this little triangle here or right click and go share image, and that's going to pop up a thing. You share it, and there's the image. The other then that will just show on your webcam. So that's really handy. So like say you're talking to your, you're talking to your dad. I always talk about this. I can just go, if I go to, well, I'll just do it. Like, well, I'll show you the other way. So option 2 is you can just drag an image directly onto CueCam, and that's going to just appear on the camera preview. So if we, I'm going to put like an empty card here, which hasn't got a picture, and I'm just going to drag. I can just drag onto the dashboard an image. We've got this one, and that will just immediately show up on the camera. So that can be really handy for. It's just like, think about how annoying it is to share a picture when you're talking to someone on Zoom. There's not an obvious way, but now you can just literally like drag the thing on. And another thing you can do is, say I want to take a screenshot. I can actually, I'm going to use screenshot as an example, but if I copy a screenshot to the clipboard, I've also got an option to just paste that. So I can paste an image. So I just screenshotted onto my clipboard and then pasted that. So this is my eCam comments window. We can move that out of the way now. We can draw on it. We can zoom in and out, I think. Yeah. So just think about like all the situations that you waste a load of time trying to figure something like that out on a call, when if you just kind of get into the habit of CueCam, then you're just going to be able to do it so easily. Right. Coming back, what's next? So there are loads more of these. So this is what I've been doing this week. So if you go to help on the CueCam website, you're going to see this. And I have got a growing number of how-to guides. Building presentations is got loads of oh, that's interesting. It's showing a count of. It's showing the full count, but like it's only the one. So the ones with X's, it's counting all the ones with X's, but they're not actually showing. So here you can scroll through here. How to use the live camera. Click on there. Here you go. How to add a placeholder. How to quickly share your desktop. Instructions. How to quickly share a video from your computer. Or instructions. If you want to do something like, let's search for green screen, you can filter and like. Screen, how to use a green screen, you're going to get that. How to share an image, how to quickly share a picture from your computer, there's the document. So this is something I'm just working through. You can see all the titles, installation setup, the live camera, building presentations, audio, advanced, well, we're not going to, these empty ones should be showing up. So these come from somewhere else and they're synced and there's code. Everything I do can have bugs. It's amazing. Community and feedback. Yeah, so we're going to add all of this stuff, and you're going to be able to, so anatomy of what's a CueCam presentation? This is something I did this week. How does it work? Sort of some little animated GIFs for you, so you can kind of see how that all works. So yeah, I am building up that, that repository of documentation. But sort of what I'm also doing is the same tech that I'm using for this is actually the basis of CueCam Cloud. So I'm just going to show you my cloud packs. So these are all those docs you see there are actually synchronized to my organization on the CueCam Presenter website, and they're all here. So I can go like, how to toggle aside 3D from you. I can click download on that, and there it is as a CueCam script. I can click, how to use, will this work? I'm trying to think of one that's got lots of pictures. Framing yourself nicely. If I click framing yourself nicely, downloads it. Look, I've got, so I'll get rid of the grid, but I've got a document with my pictures in it and titles, and that just came. That's the same stuff that's on the website. So I'm just sort of like, I've got all of these things synchronized and coming through, and then the idea is to be able to give some version of this to you as well, like so you can sort of manage documentation, manage support stuff. Essentially, but we'll talk about that now. But first, we're going to take another baby break. he was looking around, and it was good. Right, CueCam Cloud. Why am I doing this to myself? It's just like I sort of wanted something like this. I actually had started building this ages ago, but I wanted something like this just to be able to manage the docs and manage my stuff. So, but I have made some progress this week, and I've made a website for it. So this is the CueCam Cloud landing page. So what have we got? Well, let's use a bit of this. Sync, share, elevate every presentation with CueCam Cloud. Introduce. Right, so this is all true. Introducing Cloud Sync. Sorry, I need to use the pencil. For the Apple Pencil, it makes it much more accurate to do the spotlight. Instant access to organized presentations. With CueCam's new cloud feature, enhance your real-time communication by syncing and sharing your presentation decks across your organization. Effortlessly access any presentation from the app's search bar, tailored for immediate use in your video calls. Cloud allows your team to create, manage, and distribute professional presentations that are readily available for any sales or support call. This streamlined access reduces setup time and boosts the impact of your communications. Can you tell I got some AI help on this copy? But it's accurate. Seamless integration in calls, dynamic presentation. Although I did do these pictures myself. Do you like these images? I did these. You can't get AI to generate stuff like this, but doesn't that look nice? Seamless integration in calls. So dynamic presentation tools. Imagine you are asked about a specific feature during a sales call. With Cloud, you can promptly bring in a detailed presentation complete with a teleprompter, scripts, and rich media. Seamlessly insert individual cards or switch to an entirely different deck without leaving your conversation. Whether you're demonstrating how to use a feature or solving a technical issue, CueCam Presenter ensures that you have all the visual aids that you need. Switch between presentations with ease, ensuring your message is always clear and professional. I think that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? And then get started with Cloud. CueCam's Cloud is available to all paying customers who are part of an organization. Start by creating your own team or joining an existing one to leverage the full power of synchronized presentation management. So to activate Cloud, you'll be able to no more scrambling for files or juggling different software. Everything your team needs is straight in CueCam. So the idea is this is all just going to be included in CueCam, but all you're going to have to do is sort of like be a part of a team. So that I think I can manage automatically through if you've sort of bulk purchased seats. Lorenzo, hi. So it's something to start off with. You'll be sort of coming to me and I'll be helping you get set up on that, and we'll be figuring out how to do it. But I'm hoping, I think this is going to be pretty good. So I'm also going to show you how this looks in practice. So we've just got this. If you make a CueCam doc, you're going to be able to, I think at the moment it's like a bit awkwardly up here, but you're just going to be able to sync that to the cloud and sort of give it a name. I think I'm actually going to make another sidebar for it. But you'll be able to sync whatever document and it will just go into your repository just like with one click basically. And you'll be able to sort of like keep that in, if you make some changes, just resync it, it will go back up again. I guess I need to figure out how conflicts will work with that. I think like just if you own it, you can do it, because when someone downloads it, that's how that works. So then when you search, so if I search for, there'll be a search bar, and I don't know if, like this, I think it probably needs to go in the main window, in the search bar. So if I go, let's look, like if I want to look at, so when I search, I can see results from this document. But sorry about these, I kind of need a strategy for these crazy file names that are generated when I sync from Coda. But you see we've got results from this document. I can zoom in on that and you can see that a bit more clearly. So we've got results from this document, but then we can also have cloud results. So if I was thinking, so if I was like, I want to talk about how to install CueCam when I'm talking to people. Now I can just say, okay, how to download and install CueCam Presenter. Click on that, wait a moment, and look, I've got the full presentation, and it's got like the pictures and stuff, and it's got my teleprompter script, and and it's good. It's all just like ready to go. I can just start presenting it. So this is sort of the dream with this, to not kind of have to just sort of bring that all through to the search bar, basically. And then also just I think, like, you'll also be able to browse them on the web, much like we're sort of like seeing them. Like the CueCam Presenter is literally using the same content to show the documentation on the web. So I think I can probably give you a similar thing for your organization to this, or like it can be public, and we can just, people can kind of look at the support docs online, or you can sort of bring them through to a CueCam presentation and do them one-to-one, or make a ton of videos. Like, I see this as being the basis for sort of a master class as well. Like, if you just want a reference to everything, and then just being able to sort of join the organization and sort of access all of this stuff and be able to just present it immediately with the teleprompter, you're going to sound like you know how to do it all. So yeah, that's sort of like the vision of this, and that's the work in progress of it. So I'd be interested to hear, like, what if you're, I know it's a bit of a quiet one today. It's weird, like sometimes we get an exciting one with lots of people, sometimes it's a bit quiet, but any thoughts, so even if not live, like jump in the comments, like tell me what you think about all this. How would you use it? What would your concerns be? Like, how much would I have to sort of guarantee security, privacy, all that kind of stuff? If it is institutional, do we need a way of, you can put it on your own S3 buckets so that, there's no sort of risk of things leaking outside the organization? Or would you, like, does it make more sense for this stuff to be public? All those questions. For now, I just want to be able to sort of sync a CueCam script and someone else to be able to grab it, and there not to be any like emailing of zip files or anything like that. I just think we can sync it, and then it sort of deals with all the media, brings it down, and you sort of, and then if I'm adding stuff to my organization, other people within the organization can find that stuff instantly when they need it. So this is kind of my vision for that. And I'm sort of like not far off delivering it, to be honest. And then I think that's a really great that's going to make the subscription nature of CueCam feel a bit more palatable as well, I hope, because like now it's clear. Like I've got these cloud plans for it. At the moment, it's sort of largely a desktop app, but once we have more of this stuff happening, especially once there will be an iPhone app at some point as well, because I want to be able to like update my scripts when I'm walking around sometimes. So I do have a prototype of that kicking around as well. But anyway, yeah, I think cloud features, currently you're sort of getting some AI stuff, which is a bit sort of makes sense for server costs. But there are like, because this is integrated with a proper powerful web server, the same way that Squares TV, I kind of did the same thing there, and I was able to just throw in remote control through a browser because I built it on this infrastructure. I've done the same thing with CueCam. It's not using it much yet, but it means it's pretty trivial for me to add really, really powerful stuff, and it's going to work really well. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. I think it could be pretty cool. So yeah, comments, questions. I'm going to hold on for a little minute, but yeah, well, I think I've been waiting, haven't I? But yeah, so what time is it? Hey, I think we might finish early this week. That'll be fun. Here is where we hang out and where you can get help when I'm asleep. So squares.tv/discord is how to get to the Discord server, and my email, michael@squares.tv. You can email me and I will help you out. Next week, I'm traveling to Italy to see my partner's family. I'll be there for 2 weeks, but I am going to be on a plane during the scheduled stream. So John is going to do the live stream, and my plan is, oh God, I've gone out of focus. But I don't think my camera likes being on an Elgato prompter, or I don't think my camera likes the Elgato prompter hanging off a big long adapter. Let's see if that, okay, that brings me back. I say this every week. To play us out, I actually spent a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm going to play us out with something. This is a song and a music video that took a lot of time and money to produce back in 2015, 16. So The story of this is I took inspiration from the work of an artist called John Conway, who does stuff that looks a bit like this. And what's incredible about this is it's super detailed, but it's actually all vector art. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see this very clearly, but it's really detailed, really rich, but it's all vector based. And like I found him because my dad is a paleontologist and he does this amazing paleo art, like colourful feathered dinosaurs, this kind of thing. But this series, it had like 11. He'd actually made these in reference to a Goldfrapp album. And I was looking at these and going, I didn't know that that's how he'd done it, but I could see the sort of like, there was a sort of rhythm and music to them. And so I, not knowing the Goldfrapp album, but I just made my own songs based on the visuals. And then so I made the song, I produced that in Clark and Well in the studio with, and I got some help from the guy that ran that studio to master them and do all that stuff. And then I moved to Berlin, and then I wanted a video for one of these, and so I engaged Mike Lavoie and Keith Boynton of Crazy Lake Pictures, because they'd done this, did this passenger video. Where is it? I think it's let's see. This website is kind of old, but like you can see mine is on there. Where is it? Home? This is a weird one. Yeah, so this I really liked this video they did, so I reached out. And they looked at all of John Conway's stuff. So he's got a massive website with loads of stuff on it, johnconway.co. And they looked at all his stuff and they pitched this incredible animated video. And it was just like the story, it sort of brought a tear to my eye when they sort of just told it to me. And then they showed animatics and it's like, oh, this is going to be amazing. It sort of ended up taking a long time to be delivered, and honestly, they changed animators. I think they were having problems with the animator, and I don't think it ever quite reached the promise of the first animatic, but I think it's pretty good nevertheless. Also, I'm looking at. I was thinking today, maybe I can sort of tidy this, see what would happen if I pipe this through some AI, as sort of like a starting point, but. Yeah, I'm going to play the whole thing, but I'm going to stay here and you're going to see my face. And then maybe next week I'll play the remix that I did. But this is called Swimming into Darkness, with a video by Mike Lavoie, Keith Boynton. So I hope you like it. It's it never quite took over the world in the way that I would have hoped, but I it is something pretty beautiful that I paid for by contracting as a Swift developer. So here it is. Have a look. Darkness, out here is where I belong. I don't need anybody to hold me down. I stay here of my own accord, never think to question this existence. Happiness comes easily to others. Happiness comes easily to others. Swimming into darkness, up here is where I belong. I don't need anybody Happiness comes easily to others, but I found tonight it's only cloudy on this side. I pushed up through the sky, it's only cloudy on this side. I didn't need to worry, it's only cloudy on this side. I climbed up to the high, cloudy on this side. Yeah, I saw tonight, it's only cloudy on this side. I didn't need to worry, it's only cloudy on this side. And there's no need to cry, it's only cloudy on this side. No matter time to die, it's only cloudy on this side. Happiness, oh happiness, happiness comes easily, happiness comes easily, happiness comes easily to others. Cheers, everyone. Thanks, Lorenzo. See you next week. Bye bye.